皆さん、こんにちは。私のトピックは原宿ファッションです。Today I'm going to be talking about Harajuku fashion, or as we Americans like to call it, what in tarnation is that city girl wearing? Jokes aside, Harajuku fashion は長い歴史を持っています。Harajuku fashion has a long history, so let's go back to the 80s to see how it all began. Sometime in the 1980s, Harajuku became famous because of the street performers and wildly dressed teenagers who gathered there on Sundays when Omotesando was closed to traffic. Omotesando is a long street filled with cafes and upscale fashion boutiques popular with the locals and tourists alike. Once they made the area accessible only to pedestrians on Sundays, it was the perfect place to meet, play music, and show off their funky outfits. As the years passed by, more and more people started to gather in Harajuku, which birthed new fashion trends. Oku no koto naru fashion style ga arimasu. There are many different fashion styles. Here are some that people still wear to this day. Lolita fashion has no relation to the novel Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. If you say it is, I will fight you. It is instead based on Victorian and Edwardian clothing with a Rococo influence. Lolita fashion ni wa oku no koto naru sabu-genre ga arimasu. Lolita fashion has many different subgenres from sweet Lolita to gothic Lolita. Two key points you can usually notice from a typical Lolita cord is the bell-shaped skirt and how modest the outfits are. Gyaru is a Japanese transliteration of the English word gal. Gyaru fashion is typically characterized by having heavily bleached or dyed hair, mostly shades from dark brown to blonde, highly decorated nails, and dramatic makeup. The makeup typically consists of dark eyeliner and fake eyelashes used to make the eyes appear larger. その人気は1990年代と2000年代初頭にピークを迎えた。Just like many other Harajuku street styles, its popularity peaked in the 1990s and early 2000s. Visual kei wa ongaku no ugoki to subculture desu. Visual kei is a music movement and subculture. It has been popular since the 1980s. The artists wear makeup, have elaborate hairstyles and costumes, usually coupled with androgynous aesthetics. Visual kei fashion is based around an eclectic fusion of rock, punk, metal, and contemporary fashion. However, there are very few limits as to what visual kei artists can wear, and it is very common among the subculture for artists to experiment with different fashion styles. Decora fashion wa colorful de tanoshii desu. Decora fashion is colorful and fun. Decora means decorative in Japanese, which basically means to dress up decoratively to show the kawaii cuteness aspect of self-expressionism in fashion. There is a heavy mix and match of colors, themes, and layers. One main thing to remember is to stay away from excessive amounts of darker and dull colors. So basically, you're like a walking human rainbow. Fairy kei wa genzai mottomo ninki no aru Nihon no style fashion no itsu desu. Fairy kei is currently one of the most popular Japanese street fashion. Fairy kei is similar to Decora because it compromises of a lot of accessories and layered clothing, but the main idea is that fairy kei only uses pastel colors. The style is based around muted pastels, bright fluorescents, and 80s revivalist cartoons and motifs, such as My Little Pony and Care Bears. The look is very much a fantasy style, emulating the worlds of 80s girls' cartoons and early shoujo manga. Harajuku fashion wa tsune ni shinka shite imasu. Harajuku fashion is always evolving. One of the newest street styles and my current favorite is neo street style. It mixes elements of cyber, manga, hip-hop, rave, club, futurism, vintage, and even Gyaru. Based on one of my neo street style inspirations, Shoshiogawa, they say that anything that's next level is neo street. It's a mix of all of one's favorite things, but balanced in its over-exaggerations. Harajuku fashion not only attracts attention from Japan, but also from other countries as well. It has spread worldwide, and there are constantly new styles popping up every year. I hope you have been inspired to try out Harajuku fashion. Arigatou gozaimasu!